Hello Pixie Doll, welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Crystal, aka The Wholesome Witch, and today we are getting into some more 5-minute rituals. And we are going to focus on 5-minute rituals to help you celebrate Samhain. Samhain is coming up in just a few days, and it might be a day when you're busier than you would like to be, but you still want to do something that honors Samhain and honors this turn of the wheel. So if you want to grab a beverage with me, have a seat, and let's chat about 5-minute rituals to help you celebrate Samhain, even if you are super busy this year. So a week or two back, I posted my 5-minute spooky rituals for Samhain season. It was really fun to film and you guys have enjoyed. But Samhain isn't only about spooky spirit vibes. It's also a time of harvest, a time of reflection, a time of letting go, and really a time of transition and transformation. A lot of us think of Samhain as the Witch's New Year, so it's like stepping through a door into a new timeline, into a fresh start. And these 5 rituals are hopefully going to help you do just that. Ritual number 1, a harvest gratitude offering. So for this one, you're going to gather a little plate or a little bowl of seasonal autumn foods. Maybe some nuts, apple slices, pumpkin seeds, some bread, maybe a soul cake. So gather your offering bowl or plate and take a spot in your house that is meaningful to you, or it could be even if you have an outside spot that's meaningful to you, and sit with your bowl, sit in quiet contemplation or reflection, and just take this moment to give thanks and gratitude for all the blessings you have in your life right now. If you think on it for a moment, I'm sure there are many things you can be thankful for. And state an affirmation of gratitude, either out loud or in your mind, just for everything you've harvested throughout this year so far. Now, these can be things you harvested literally, like in the physical realm. They can be lessons you've learned in ways you've grown as a person, emotional milestones reached. It can be anything you're grateful for. Then, once you're done, do take your offering plate or bowl and leave it outside somewhere. If you're not outside already, you can go outside and leave it under a tree or a special spot with the intention of giving back to the land, giving back to Mother Nature and to the earth as a symbol of your thanks and gratitude. That one is super simple and super meaningful and just so on point for this time of year. So it's a really nice thing to do, to really be mindful and hone in on that gratitude. Something we should do every day anyways, but this is just an extra little gesture. And we all know that having more gratitude brings more abundance into your life. When you're already grateful for what you have, that creates energy and space to call in things that you might be working towards. Ritual number 2, transition candle. Grab a single candle, any color will do, and sit in a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, a space where you can clear your mind and just be mindful in the moment for these next 5 minutes. So we're going to sit comfortably, light our candle, take a few deep breaths, and think of the flame of this candle being like your internal light that is helping to guide you through this darker part of the year. Focus on the flame and reflect on things you want to release as we move forward. This is a time that is often thought of as the Witch's New Year, so you want to really lean into that and think of November 1st as your fresh start. So we're reflecting on how our life has been, how things have been going, and things that we might be holding on to that we know we need to let go for our highest good. So once you've done your moment of reflection and settled on a thing or some things you want to release, then we're going to switch it and focus and reflect on things that we wish to call into our lives over these next few weeks. And things in our lives that we would like to bring forward, things that we know we're doing that are serving us. So maybe good habits or practices that we have started this year and that we really want to continue and move forward with and even go more all in on. So focus on those things, reflect on those things that are going to help you level up and become more of your best self as we move towards 2026. And then I always like to close these little rituals with a little spell or affirmation or statement of intention to solidify to the universe your commitment to releasing and moving forward. It can be something simple, it can be just one line, something like, as the wheel turns once more, I commit to releasing what no longer serves and focusing on only energies that lift me up, inspire me, and bring me closer to my highest self. Something like this. It doesn't have to be complicated. Ritual 3, Ancestor Blessing Jar. And if you've been following me for even a minute, you'll probably know that I love a good spell jar, blessing jar, witch's jar, however you want to call it. I love crafting jars in my practice. So we're of course going to include one for Samhain. And Samhain is a really strong time to connect with your ancestors and the spirit realm. And honoring ancestors is a huge part of this time of year in many different traditions. So we're going to hone in on that energy for this 5-minute practice. So you're not going to need much. You're going to need a little jar, a paper and pen, and a few herbs for extra energy and good measure. So what I want you to do is write down on your paper names of ancestors, pets, friends, loved ones who have walked before you and who you want to honor and remember today. Then you're going to fold the paper, place it in the jar, and add in a few corresponding herbs. So you could put in things like rosemary for remembrance, or mugwort for spirit connection, or lavender for peaceful, loving energy. And then you could also add a drop or two of essential oil if you like to work with oils in your practice. Sandalwood is really great for remembrance and spirit connection. That's probably the one I would use for this ritual. And then at the end, you can sprinkle in a little bit of salt to add some protective energies. Then simply seal the jar, hold the jar in your hands, and state a loving intention towards your ancestors or those who have come before you. Something like, on this day, I honor you, remember you, and will love you always. Can be something simple like that, something meaningful to you and meaningful to those that you are remembering. And then you can place the jar on your altar or a special place in your home or someplace beside a candle. If you wish to, you can visit the jar once a day. You can reaffirm your affirmation of loving energy and remembrance towards your ancestors. You could even light a candle for them every day as we move through these next weeks. Totally up to you how you want to move forward with it. But crafting the jar and holding that remembrance in your heart and just doing that mindful activity and mindful ritual to honor these spirits of your lineage or spirits of those you have loved and lost is a really meaningful and powerful way to utilize the energies of the season. Ritual number 4, apple divination blessing. Lots of blessings this time of year. Apples are really connected to Samhain and the energies that Samhain brings. And using them in your rituals this time of year can be really meaningful and really powerful. And apples symbolize wisdom, balance, protection, all things that correspond with the energy of this time of year. So this little ritual is really a ritual of reflection and calling in blessings for this next phase moving forward. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut the apple in half to reveal the star in the center. So apple seeds, the pattern that they make inside is a star. So if you cut it in half, that's what you're going to see. And I just want you to hold the apple halves in your hand and take a moment to reflect and lean into your inner wisdom a little bit. So we want to call on that intuition, call on that inner voice for this. And think about, what have you learned throughout 2025 so far? What have you learned this year? And think about the areas of your life and how they're going. And think about what areas of your life you really need to create more balance. Are there areas that require the energy to become more centered and more in alignment? Are you perhaps working too hard, not working enough, being too strict with yourself, spending too much time doing habits you'd really rather not? So think about your own life, your own situation, and what are those areas for you that you know deep down, that's why we're calling on our inner wisdom, that really is calling for balance. As we move through the Witch's New Year and Samhain, it's a great moment to bring things into alignment in your life. So we don't want to have things feeling chaotic anymore. We want them to feel more peaceful, more calm, and more balanced, grounded, and centered as we pass through this turn of the wheel and kind of start fresh on November 1st. If you want, you can have a pen and paper with you and you can write down your reflections, write down your intentions of bringing certain areas into balance. It's optional, but I always like to include a little bit of writing in my rituals, even if they're quick 5-minute ones. You don't need a lot of time. You can just write down a few quick sentences. And then if you have time, you can sit mindfully and eat your apple. So don't waste it, enjoy it. Or you can even eat it on the go if you've got to head out the door. So either way, whether you have a minute to sit and eat it mindfully, or you can grab it and bring it with you as you're, I don't know, going to work or going to pick up the kids or whatever it is you might be doing, try and keep your focus on those reflections and those things you really want to change in your life, those things you really want to, like I said, bring into balance and create more equilibrium. And what you can do as a step further is to save the apple seeds from your core and let them dry and use them in your future rituals and spell work throughout November as a way to keep that energetic connection, as a way to kind of act as a reminder even for the intentions you made to bring these areas into balance, and to help carry the energy of this little ritual into other rituals that are going to help you achieve the intentions you set here. So I would like to use them. For example, if I said I wanted to bring more work-life balance into my life, if I was doing a ritual in November with that intention, I may include some of those apple seeds where I initially set that intention. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Makes sense in my mind. So that's a really nice extra thing to do, is to just save those and use them going forward. Ritual number 5, which is New Year intention spell. And this one is really just all about setting intentions for the year ahead. Setting intentions as we start November 1st and move forward into 2026. And if we start working towards these intentions now, by the time the calendar New Year arrives, we'll be well on our way and we'll have already made a lot of progress to bringing them into fruition. So sit down with a paper, a pen, a 5-minute timer if, like I said, you're really on the clock and you really only have 5 minutes, and think about the intentions you want to set starting November 1st. So we're going to wake up tomorrow after Samhain and have that fresh New Year energy and positivity to move forward. So think about what things are most important to you right now. So on your paper, I would probably focus on 1 to 3 intentions that are your most important. I feel anything more than 3, there's just more chance of you trying to do everything and not accomplishing anything. Does that make sense? When we try and do all the things, we usually don't do any of them very well because we're spreading ourselves too thin. So choose 1 to 3 of your most important intentions moving forward and write them on your paper, and then fold that paper 3 times towards you. When we fold things towards ourselves, it's a symbol of calling it in. On the opposite end, if we fold it away from ourselves, it's a symbol of letting something go and releasing something. So fold it 3 times towards yourself, and then keep it. Just keep it somewhere special. Place it in your journal, maybe under a candle. It could be under a certain color candle if a color really corresponds with your intentions. Like say your intentions are, creating more abundance and money and success in your life in these next, weeks ahead. You can maybe place it under a green candle or place it under a crystal that corresponds with your intentions. So if it was the ones I just said, money, success, abundance, you could place it under a citrine crystal or under a green aventurine crystal. Those are really great for those things. You could place it beside your bed. And what I would do is keep these intentions until the next turn of the wheel, which would be Yule. So from now until Yule, you're going to focus on these intentions, and you can even revisit your paper once a day, reread your intentions as a reminder to yourself of what you're trying to put out there and what you're trying to accomplish and manifest in your life. And you can even, like I mentioned already, I always like to use some words in my little rituals. So as you place your paper in your special spot, if it's under a candle, crystal, in your journal, wherever it might be, you can state a little spell or affirmation to the universe of your commitment to calling these things in and your commitment to really working, taking inspired action to bring these things into your life. So there you have it. Those are the 5 rituals that I wanted to share today to help you celebrate Samhain. If you're a little crunched for time, But these are just 5 little things. There are so many other things we can do throughout our day on Samhain to help honor the day and connect with its energy. We could simply buy some seasonal blooms and put them in our space. We could pull a card for, the next few weeks ahead. We could do a 5-minute intuitive journaling session, or we could do a 5-minute scripting session, like write a candle, put on some atmospheric music and just start writing. Set a timer. Like I said, if you really don't have much time, don't let yourself go more than 5 minutes. It's easy to get a little lost in the writing and spend more time than you meant to. You could also do like a quick cleansing with a crystal or with incense. You could do a quick protection ritual to carry that energy with you into the new year. If perhaps setting boundaries is one of your intentions, do a little quick protection ritual on Samhain. You could light a candle for your ancestors. There's really so many ways. I have a couple blog posts actually that give you a lot of ideas about easy, meaningful ways to celebrate this day. So I'm going to link those down below in the description in case you want to give those a look as well. And if you haven't seen my 5-minute rituals for spooky season to help you hone in on those Samhain energies, I'm going to link that below as well, because you might want to do one of those as part of your Samhain celebrations. I would love it if you would leave me a comment and let me know which ritual resonated with you the most, which one you think you might want to try on Samhain. And if you have any of your own easy rituals you like to do on Samhain, comment below and let me know those as well. I would really love to hear them. And I thank you so much for being with me right until the end of the video. I will link those resources I mentioned down below. I will also link my spell book, my socials, all that good stuff in case you want to check them out. And if you did enjoy the video, which I'm assuming you did even a little bit to still be here at the end, please do like and subscribe down below. It really helps me and it helps the channel to grow. I am sending you many, many blessings for a beautiful Samhain celebration ahead. And until next time, I'll be seeing you very soon. Bye.